Right, Sophie. So, melodies on the ukulele. So obviously, chords, are the most important thing. That's what you're going to be doing 90% of the time, if not more so. But it's always nice to have the option just to throw a bit of melody in there as well, and see what happens. So we did the major scale, C major in particular. But if you know what one scale looks like, technically you should be able to find out what other ones look like based on that, right? So we got the major scale, C major, and three different techniques. So we have the pull-offs, hammer-ons, and slides. Okay. So first of all, you want to be very, very familiar with the scale, right? To the point, in the same way that you're familiar with the chords, right? Because you're at the stage now where if somebody asks you to play a G, you don't think to yourself, okay, this one here, and then this one here, G. You're at the stage now where it's just G. You're not thinking all the little steps through because you just have it there. Um, that's the same kind of familiarity you want to get with the scale as well if you're going to be playing over it. The side of my face is all shiny here. There we go. Um, so so that means going over it all the way up, all the way down, again and again and again, right? So we've got starting off on the C string, second fret, then open E string, 1 3, open A string, 2 3, and then back down. Okay. So now, as I said, you can use a guitar pick if you want, like the one I left with you. But I'd recommend getting something softer, something made out of felt that's kind of a bit more purpose built. So we're going all the way up and down. And it's a good idea as well when you're practicing, just to get it a bit more fluid, to only to not repeat the top or the bottom note when you go back up again. So what I mean by that is you can do this, whoa, and repeat that top note. It's actually kind of better if you don't do that. If you just kind of make it all one fluid phrase with no repetition of notes, right? So what I mean is like this, and straight back up. All right. Just makes it a bit more fluid when you don't have the same note twice in a row, generally speaking. Okay, so then after that we had the pull-offs. So you can do pull-offs all the way down the scale if you like. It's gonna kill two birds with one stone, so we get the technique and the scale in. So we're going, whoa, let's take two. Okay, so just one pick on each string. All right, so that's two in a row. So make sure this one, the lower one, is rooted before the pull off because that's what you're pulling off too. So, ay ay ay. Okay, and then hammer-ons on the way back up. Now, the trick with hammer-ons is that you got to draw back a little bit and really snap down on it. Okay, as I said, the harder and snappier you slap it down, the better it's going to be. So you can go all the way up the scale with hammer-ons. Okay, and then slides is the other one. So slides can kind of, you can go. Now the trick to a slide is that you have to keep the pressure down on the string as you're moving it up, right? So obviously, if you just kind of leave the pressure off, that happens, right? Okay, so okay, so just see where it takes you, okay? So that right there, for example, is just open E string, hammer onto the third, and slide from there to the fifth. Same again. And it gets a lot more fun as well is when you sort of string these things together. You know, sort of a hammer on followed by a pull off, followed by another hammer on, followed by a slide or something like that. It gets very fluid and very fast as well, without a whole lot of effort because you're not having to pick every note. So so I'll leave it at that. Okay. So just get familiar with the scale. We'll keep it in C major for now, and just see what you come up with. Wander about the scale, and we'll do a few more phrases next time. But for now, just wander about, and as well, don't necessarily stick to the scale either. I mean, it is important that you learn, learn the scale so you know where you're going in a given song or a given key, right? But do kind of go up the fretboard and just do random stuff and see what happens. You know, you might come across something that's kind of cool. All right, I'll see you next time.